everyone. Welcome to the Aaditya Mehta Show. Y'all may be wondering, who is she? Where is Aaditya Mehta? But today, there's a plot twist. He's on the other side, who will be answering all my questions. And I'm the one who's going to ask him all the questions today. My name is Soumya Prabhu. But before we begin with this, don't forget to hit the bell icon and the subscribe button while listening to the intro music. So, welcome, Aditya, and thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast asking you questions. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling very relaxed. Okay, I mean, few episodes back, I had the chance to interview RJ Shatakshi, and she had told me that being on the other side, it feels very relaxed, because you don't have to prepare for anything. You are just there, and now I get it why she said that. So yeah, I'm pretty relaxed. I didn't have to prepare anything today. It was all you. So yeah, it feels pretty good, I would say.
I'm glad it does. So, I wanted to ask you that, take me back to your childhood days because that's how you begin with the origin story. How were you as a kid? What were the experiences that made you this communicate?
Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you one thing, honestly, Soumya, that I had severe social anxiety.
Oh,
And back then, I didn't know that this is what it is. Okay, so I didn't know the term that it is known as social anxiety. I wasn't aware about it. But I was afraid of talking to people, let alone girls, even with boys. Okay, I would never talk to anyone. Okay, even my school teacher told me Gandhiji because she was like, "Hey, you never talk to anyone. तुम आराम से बस बैठा रहता है." Okay, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I have to think like 1,000 times before speaking that should I speak or not, and then I end up I shouldn't speak at all. So yeah, back then I had severe social anxiety. I would say till grade 10th, it was that way. When in college, I was the one, not doing good with communication as well. But it was at one moment after my 12th grade when I shifted the college during my degree college. And at that point of time, I thought, you know what? Let's just try it out to reach people. All I have to say is, hi, I am Aditya. That's it.
right.
Okay. And that's where the journey began, I would say, to become a communicator. Okay. Of course, I was not the expert, and I'm still not the expert. I'm still learning a lot of things, but I wasn't that good, I would say. But that's how the journey began, I would say. But yeah, I mean, back then I had very severe social anxiety.
Okay, and then what did you do to, kill that anxiety? It was just like, hi,
Yeah.
I'm Aditya Mehta.
Not really. So there is a very funny story behind it.
Okay.
Okay. Many people ask me that when did you started your podcasting journey? And I say it started from 2012. However, this podcast was introduced in 2020 during COVID times. It's a COVID product. Okay. But I genuinely say it out loud that it started in 2012. Okay. So the story goes something like this. I am in first year degree college. Okay. It was in 2012, by the way. It was 2011. And it was on that day, there was a group presentation. So I was a part of a group.
Okay.
And what happened was that because it was a group presentation and I was the only one in the group who always said, hi, I'm Aditya Mehta. So I was starting to, get a hang of communicating with people, conversating with people. And during that moment, I conveniently forgot that I have never done a public speaking. Okay, I've never been on stage. And when the group members came, I started giving them advice. And it was so funny because I hadn't been on the stage. Now, today when I think about it, I literally laugh at it because what was I thinking? Okay. So, and when my turn came to present my topic, it was related to accounting standard. Okay. AS09, I guess. It was related to fixed assets, something. I knew the concept, but I couldn't utter a single word. I went blank on the stage. And all my group members were, dude, you were the one who were giving us advices. What happened to you on the stage? I'm like, I don't know. And from that day, I decided I will never go back on the stage.
Okay.
Like, never ever.
Okay.
And then in 2012, I joined Raj Computers Academy, okay, which was, I feel, the turning point of my life. Because that's when I realized that I literally have to talk to the unknown people because I'm going to teach them. Right? So in the initial stage, what I did was, there was one another ma'am who had a speech ready, okay, in front of student while teaching something. I copy pasted that script into my town. And I said the exact same script to every student that came.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't know how to communicate, honestly, right? And slowly but surely, I started tweaking my script. Okay. I started tweaking the things. And later I thought it's fine. Okay. It's fine to talk to people. They are not going to eat you. They are not going to kill you. It's fine.
It's fine.
Even if you do a mistake, okay, it's fine. Because, you know, after all, you are a human being, right? So during that time, I realized, it's fine. Let's just try communicating. The worst it can happen is that I'm going to make a mistake. And there is no human without a mistake. So it's fine to do that.
Right.
And later on, my boss, okay, during that job of mine, boss was really supportive. He was like, Aditya, why don't you take a lecture on web hosting? I'm like, sure, I can take this 1 or 2 students. And so he's like, no, this has to be a group lecture. Like, so how many people are you expecting, sir? Like, yeah, approximately 20-25 students. I'm like, what? See, I'm just, starting to get a hang of speaking to people.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you are telling me that I have to present a particular topic in front of 45 or maybe 25 students. I'm like, I cannot do that. And he's like, no, you know the topic, you can do it. And you have to do it. You don't have an option. I'm like, okay. And I still remember that for 3 nights, I didn't got sleep because I was anxious. Okay. I was rewriting the script in my mind that how I'm going to start, what I'm going to speak. And during that time, I saw a YouTube video as well related to public speaking. And in that, they said like you should start with a joke so that the audience have your attention.
Right. Either a joke or a question.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, however, in a YouTube video, it was just a joke. So I started out with a joke and no one laughed. Okay.
Okay. Relatable, because even I have been on stage or giving humorous speeches, and I used to always tell कि यार आज भगवान please मेरे पे लोगों को हंसने दो. It was that because humor is difficult.
Yeah.
You cannot crack up everyone.
Correct. And I was like, okay, but the show must go on.
Yeah.
I started it. I finished it strong, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, because everyone got good knowledge on that day. And there were few supportive people who messaged me after as well that, you know what, it was a great presentation.
Oh, fab.
I'm like, okay, I'm not too bad at it.
Okay.
Okay. And later on, the opportunities just came.
Yeah.
By the time 2-3 years I was at that job, and my boss had full faith in me that I can do public speaking. If any announcement has to be made in that particular premises, Aditya is going to do it. I'm like, why me? He was like, no, I have good faith in you. You will do the announcement. That's it. And I started getting better at it because
you were doing it.
I was doing it. And it was a regular practice that I was getting.
Right.
And I remember I had at least, I would say 50 presentations over there. More than that probably. But
that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Now it feels like when I go up on the stage, it feels like, okay, these are my people.
Yeah.
And
it's home.
It's home.
Yeah.
Right? And I easily communicate with them. And that's the reason I always say that my podcasting journey started in 2012 and not in 2020. Because if that wouldn't have happened, the podcast wouldn't have existed today.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's the journey I have been
You know,
doing.
when you talk about this group presentations that you said, I have also noticed this happening. So I am a person who started following their passion before even I could know what passion means. So I was always passionate about stage and I was always a stage person. So I didn't know ki, पैर थरथराना, ulti hona is a problem on stage. So when I come to college, when we have these multiple presentations and all going on, I realized that it's an actual problem, the social anxiety, like the way you mentioned, and the fear of being in front of this 10, 15, 20, 100 people is a general problem. So I resonate with this because it's a very common thing faced by everybody. But like the way you said, you need to kill your fear by only doing it again and again. It's repetition, basically.
Exactly. And I must say this audience that we have a special season, that is public speaking experiences, okay, where all the speakers have came on this podcast and they have shared their experiences, their embarrassing moments on stage, and still they are great speakers today. Okay, so the only thing which you can do is practice.
Practice,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah.
So I like the way you mentioned about embarrassing moments. Would you like to share an embarrassing moment which is funny, stayed with you, and some, some storytelling anecdote if you want to share?
Sure. Actually, there are many.
One thing that you remember and still cracks you up, so that it also, cracks our audience up.
Of course, of course. So there was this one time I was going to do a public speech in my college.
Okay.
So I had a 4-year gap between my degree college and the master degree program that I did. That is MCA, Masters in Computer Applications. Okay. So during my MCA degree, I had this presentation that I had to give. And he was like that you have to talk about virtual presentation. Like, great, let's do it. Now, by that time, I knew that I'm very confident I can speak in front of people. And there were only like 30, 40 people in the classroom.
Okay.
And I thought I can do it. Okay. But what happened was, guy who went before me in the presentation, the girl, there was one oversmart girl, I wouldn't name her, but there was one oversmart girl who would ask questions because sir had mentioned that, you know what, anyone from the audience can ask questions to the presenter. And she would ask really tough questions. Everyone.
And it was not in the world of ChatGPT.
Yeah. Exactly. There was no ChatGPT back then.
Right.
So she was asking really difficult questions. And no one was able to answer her. So I was like, how will I crack her? I know I'm very good at presentation, but if she asks me something that I'm not able to answer, it will really, hamper my confidence level as well. So I was really afraid before going on the stage and I never felt that fear. That fear came after a very long time for me.
Okay.
So while going on the stage, I fumbled a bit. I fell on the floor.
You fell?
Yeah, because I like when I was going, I tripped on a wire.
Oh.
And I fell down.
Okay, sad.
And my chin had a little blood. And I felt that was a very embarrassing moment for me because going on the stage, you trip.
Falling down.
But fortunate enough, I was like, the show must go on. Okay. So I'm like, let's complete the presentation. Then I'll look at my chin that what has happened, if it has been torn or what exactly has happened. So I went. The first thing that came into my mind, that if I ask her a question during my presentation, and if she couldn't answer it, she will not question me back. Because once I question her and she couldn't answer, she will not even dare to question me back then.
Right.
So I went up on the stage and asked a very tough question to everyone. No one was able to answer it.
Can we know what the question was?
Yeah, so I asked a question related to before WhatsApp become a business. It already was a $20 million company.
Okay.
How? because it was completely free. Okay. And they were charging for nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Okay. Then how did they make it a $20 million business? Right? And that was the question. No one was able to answer it because but I had given a case study about it. I have read a case study about it, that how it become a $20 million company. It was by selling the data.
Data, yeah.
Okay. So when I went on the stage and I asked this question to the people, no one was able to answer it. And then I particularly pointed to her because she was the one asking questions to everyone. So I particularly pointed at her and said, do you know the answer? Because you were asking questions. Now it's your time to answer. And she's like, no. And that was it. That was my win. And then I started the presentation, ended it. No one spoke in between. And I ended up as a winner that day.
Okay, so you went to roar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the time. But I felt really embarrassed on that day because I fell on the floor.
Okay.
Before going up on the stage. And I felt like people would laugh at me, but they didn't.
They did, yeah.
So no one actually
Good
does.
audience.
Good audience.
Good audience. Right, I agree.
So yeah, that was one of the embarrassing moment I faced during the MCA which I was doing. And there was one more time, there was another college presentation. Okay. So this is back to my degree college.
Degree college.
Okay.
So degree college bombarded you with a lot of presentations. That changed you as a person.
I wouldn't think that changed me.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, in college, because of my first experience, I just rectified the script.
Okay.
I never went with understanding. Because I was too scared to make people understand.
Understand, yeah.
So all I did was, whenever there is a presentation, I'll look at the slide, read, and then go back to my seat. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, because...
But this is something which most of the people still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a thing that people practice. Because they are like, I'm scared and I have to do something.
Yes.
So I'll just look at it and I'll talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this one time during my degree college, it was the second year of my degree college, and they told me that I have to present. And this was a solo presentation, not even a group presentation.
Okay, so everything is on you. The spotlight is on you.
Exactly. And it was a 7-minute speech.
Oh.
And I remember for nearly 3 minutes, I didn't spoke a single word. And when this happens, everyone is watching at you like you don't belong there. Okay, because everyone looks at you like you are an alien or something.
Right.
Okay. So that was something which was really embarrassing for me. And I was like, after I somehow completed the speech, and then I was like, I will never go back on stage.
So, I came across this quote and an opinion by some public speaker that said that when somebody tells you, before handing the stage over to you, that the stage is all yours, that means you can be yourself on stage. You can do whatever you want because the craft that you're going to present is all on you.
Yeah.
Somehow resonated with this because, when you're dancing in a group or something like that, you are not the spotlight. The spotlight can be anyone, whoever, wants to see. But when you're a public speaker, when you're alone on the stage is actually all yours. Correct. Because everything is on you. What you do, what you say, and how you persuade and, influence the audience.
Correct.
So with this, I have this thing, a question, that when did you realize your voice had power? Not just to speak, but to move people, influence people. Yeah. Because pursuing and, being influential is also a skill. So how did you develop that?
Yeah. So there are two questions over here. First one is, when did I realize that, and how did I develop that as well, right? Realization came in the academy where I was working, where I was getting constant feedback that I'm improving. And, students here and there, they always told me that, sir, we are waiting for your presentation. When is your next presentation? And one of my friend told me that you did a presentation on this topic. So whenever it is next time, do tell me, even I'll come. So, when you get these constant feedbacks, it actually motivates you. And then one time I was, so we did a PPT competition in the academy where I used to host that PPT competition, who is going to come next, and etc. etc. And one fine day, I was doing that, and I asked students that, what do you feel? Okay, who is your role model? Who is your role model? And like whom you want to speak? Okay, and one of the student told me, "Okay, sir, I want to become like you." I'm like, oh, really? I mean, me? Seriously? So I think that's when I realized that I have a good potential. I'm not too bad at it. It's just that, yes, I should be a learner for a very long period of time. It shouldn't be like that I have done something great.
You stagnate.
Yeah.
It's not.
So you have to stay humble. At the same time, you have to believe in yourself as well, that whatever you are speaking has a deep value to it. So next time onwards, whenever I went on the stage, I always had this feeling that, you know what, I'm going to give value to the audience. And when I give that value, it has to be respected. Okay. So now onwards, whenever I step on the stage, yes, this is my home. But at the same time, I know that I'm going to add values in people's life. And that's what gives me motivation as well. That, you know what, if I have to do that, I have to speak with more intention. And that intention gives me extra edge that moves people, I would say. And how did I develop it? I watched a lot of mentors. Okay. So I would say my unofficial mentor is Harsha Bhogle sir.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The commentator.
The commentator.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's not only the commentator. Okay. He also has a voiceover on a podcast,
Okay.
which is based on ISRO, a bad boy rocket. And he has this amazing voice, amazing speech, and
Storytelling
voice. And I've always been a big fan of him. Okay, so I love cricket, but more than that, I love his commentary as well.
Yes.
So I think that's how I develop it. I have watched multiple public speakers do their thing on the stage, and from that I observed. Okay, there were many people who were younger than me as well. But one thing which I always felt is that there is a thin line between comparison and observation.
Fab.
Okay, so I never compared them with me.
But you observed.
But I observed them so that I can learn from them. And there are some unique styles which I picked up from them. And then I tried to implement that with my own style. So I think that's how I developed it in a way. And later people loved it, people liked it. So yeah, that's how I got there. Yeah.
So I also came across this quote that says, evaluation is the breakfast of champions. Because when you're evaluated, it's not criticism. It is a proper sense of feedback. Like you get, know, that where were you right, where were you wrong, and what could be done better.
Yeah.
And then the overall thing is covered up by saying that this was nice.
Right.
So that you don't even feel bad, and you also take the criticism or the feedback seriously.
Yeah.
So I guess that really helps, like the way you said.
And I believe the term here we can use is constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always loved people who have told me on my face that, Aditya, you were wrong over here. You shouldn't have done that. And I appreciate that, honestly, because I feel for my learning, it's really important to have those constructive feedbacks so that I can improve.
Right. So, and that's the right way to grow.
Of course.
First is by asking right set of questions.
Yeah.
And second is feedback.
Of course. Right.
What is this one thing that made you feel, the sense of discomfort while you were succeeding into doing something as a public speaker?
Right.
And then you learned from it.
Of course. Yes. So I would say not as a public speaker, because as a public speaker, I would say there were a lot of things that made me feel discomfort. And the first thing was facing the audience, of course, right? So that was the biggest discomfort I had. And later on, of course, with practice, it came through. But the major discomfort I had was when this podcast turned into a video podcast.
Okay. So it was initially only with audio.
It was an audio, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so when it turned into video, I had to look into the camera. And I was very much camera conscious back then. Okay, I would literally blank out facing the camera. But there was this amazing guy who came on the podcast, and he had told me a technique that, you know what, you can actually keep a photo of someone on the camera
And think like
and you talk to him. That's the best way to do it. And you practice it that way. And I was like, come on, how can you do that, sir? His name was Larry Wilson. Okay, he came on the podcast. He gave these tips as well. He's the Emmy nominated producer, and he was also awarded the best magician of the year. Okay, and he has this Wilson method for communication and many more things. So I was really moved with that technique, and when I used that, it really helped me to practice. So initially, when this podcast was moved into video podcast, I remember my audio editor saying me that, you know what, sir, पहला take आपका 10-12 take में होता है, and then the conversation flows smoothly. Okay, so that's how I think it came, because throughout the conversation I don't have to look into the camera, but the initial part I always have to look into the camera. Now, recently it has come down to 2 to 3 takes. Okay. But when initially we started, it used to take like 12 to 14 efforts sometime as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was the biggest discomfort. And the guest is sitting right by my side, and I'm taking a take again and again because I'm not getting it right. So that was the biggest discomfort I had. But yeah, later on with practice, it got better, I would say.
I agree. So, what is that one, a public speaking, storytelling myth that people believe? People think that, ऐसा ही है, that you would want to burst.
One public speaking myth that most people have is that introverts cannot be a public speaker. Okay.
Yeah, true.
That is the biggest myth. Okay. So I will tell there's this beautiful conversation that happened on this podcast during the public speaking experiences season.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's this guest who told me this, that, you know what, this is the biggest myth, that introverts cannot be good public speakers. They don't have social anxiety. They are just introverts.
Introverts, yeah.
Okay, there is a difference between an introvert and a socially anxious person. So sometimes when you feel that this guy is an introvert, he cannot do public speaking, that's the biggest myth. Okay, because he just draws energy from himself. That doesn't mean that he cannot be a good public speaker. And the best thing about it is that it is a skill, not a talent. It can be learned. Okay, so when people say public speaking is a talent, no, it is a skill. Okay, so you just have to learn it and you will master it one day.
And I also feel it's a sense of vulnerability to allow yourself to make mistakes on the stage.
I feel that's the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with what you say.
Yeah, I have a pretty good incident. So I would say a few months back, I was on this I was on the stage and I was speaking about something, and I suddenly went blank. Okay. And because now I'm pretty good at it to handle these flung ups on stage, what I did was I just spoke honestly that, to be very honest, I have forgotten the next line. And people laughed over it.
Yeah,
and
because
it's
that
fine.
was human.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And so what I said, the next line was, so I'm going to remove my phone and read that next line because I really want it to be perfect, because this is very important.
Okay.
and people accepted that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fine to make mistakes on stage. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The big deal is
You getting awkward.
And the big deal is that you then at that point of time you panic and you suddenly say that I'm not a good public speaker. Okay, and suddenly what you do is you look on the phone, start reading the script. Okay, it's not the entire script that you have made a mistake on. It's just a one thing. Okay, so I believe that is also a good myth, that you're not allowed to do mistakes on the stage. It's fine to make mistakes on the stage.
Fine to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So what are you? Are you an introvert, extrovert, ambivert?
I would say ambivert. Okay, because
that's nice.
yeah, because sometimes I need to draw energy from myself, and sometimes I draw energy from the people around me.
Right.
It moreover depends on the situation where I am in. But whenever I go on a group trip, okay, or whenever I have gone to a solo trip as well, I make a lot of friends. I guess that makes me extrovert. But at the time when I have to leave, I also have to cut the strings that maybe I'm not going to meet them next time. So it's fine that I don't have to feel sad about it. I just have to take the memories.
Right.
So the last day I'll stay alone deliberately. Okay, I'll draw energy from myself. Okay, so when I come back home, I don't have to be a person who is sad because he has left a lot of friends behind him after the trip. So I think that is one thing where I'm an introvert.
Right.
So
You're an ambivert.
I'm an ambivert.
And I also feel introverts are good communicators with people around them whom they feel safe.
Yeah.
Extroverts are someone who can talk to everybody. That's okay. But introverts are good communicators. It's only like, they have a circle. They have a social circle where they feel safe and they find it okay to open up.
Of course.
Yeah. So, what is one of your favorite failure? Because we usually talk about success being favorite and, number of successes that we keep counting. But why not failures? So, your favorite failure.
Wow. That's a tough one, actually. Yeah. Favorite failure, I would say.
Into this social realm.
Not in the social realm. I mean, there are many failures. But the very favorite one I would say is that being a socially anxious person. Okay. Yeah. And after that, going into the academy, okay, trying to copy everyone. I guess that is something which I really love because it's fine. I failed during that time. I was not a good communicator, but that actually gave me a good sense that, you know what, you can improve on it. Because ultimately you have to do it, what you are doing. Right? So if you fail, it's fine. So from there, I learned that it's okay to fail. So I believe that would be my favorite failure. And apart from that, I have many more actually. Failures, I have failed more rather than succeeding. Okay, but that's how life is, right? I mean, you just need one success to get it all right. But failure is just somewhere around the corner waiting for you. So there are many failures that I have failed. But the one who actually taught me that failure is fine, that has to be my favorite. And that was in the academy when I was not talking to people. And my boss was continuously like, you need to speak to people. And I think that would be the favorite failure of mine. Yeah.
So I feel that was important for you to become this.
Yes, so, for sure. Yeah.
Right. So what is this one ritual that you follow before you come on a podcast, before you do storytelling or anything? What is that pre-ritual that you do?
I stay silent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's number one thing which I do. I conserve my energy. So whenever I'm going to go on a stage, I'll be alone somewhere. Okay. Keeping myself ready. Okay. Not rewriting the speech as well in my mind. Okay. Not doing anything. Keeping my mind blank. Okay. And reminding myself that if you make a mistake, it's fine. You just have to cover it up. Or maybe if you don't cover it up, you are still a human.
Yeah.
Okay. in that sense of making a mistake is fine, it doesn't make me conscious enough to perform. It doesn't give me a performance pressure.
Performance pressure.
Okay, and ideally that gives me an extra edge as well sometimes, that I perform well on stage.
So because I have absorbed whatever he has said, I've forgotten my question. So I will look into the phone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if somebody is listening to you today and is feeling invisible, unheard, afraid, and want to really put in efforts to do this, what is it one piece of advice that you would like to give them?
DM me. That's the only advice I would say. See, normally when they feel invisible, they don't have anyone to hurt them, right? To hear them, ideally. So I would say DM me. I'm always there for you, to listen to you, or else speak to your friends about it. Okay, because normally what I have seen in the past times, that normally I feel I'm alone. Okay, and I will have to fight a situation by myself. But when you just give a call to someone, they are all ready to listen to you. And I feel, yeah, and if you don't have anyone, just DM me on Instagram. I'll give you my number as well. Don't worry about it. But yeah, please DM me, I would say.
So if you feel unheard, please DM Aditya.
Of course.
And what is this? Okay, so if your journey, your public speaking journey, was a movie, how would you title it?
I would title it just as my ebook that is being launched on Topmate. If anyone wants to buy it, I'll mention the link in the description. So it would be From Silence to Spotlight.
Okay, can you explain over it a little bit?
Sure. So see, what happens is anyone's journey in communication starts with a silence. If they are, let's say, socially anxious, they don't know what to speak, they don't know what the icebreakers are. Okay, it always starts with a silence.
Silence.
Once they recognize there is a silence, they improve on it. Okay, and once they start improving on it, slowly but surely they'll reach to a spotlight as well. So my journey started with silence. Okay, and all the social events, I would grab a corner, go over there, sit over there, avoid any eye contacts, avoid every smile, because I don't want anyone coming to me and talking to me, because I don't know then how to continue that conversation. Okay, so yeah, I was silent. Later on, I learned how to communicate, and after that, I became a public speaker. So yeah, that would be my title of the story. I would say.
Nice. So silence is enlightenment. That's what Aditya says.
Of course, yes.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you that what is that one quote that stayed with you for years?
I would say it was said by Larry Wilson on this podcast itself, and that was, no one in this world has ever died of embarrassment. So, and it stayed with me for a very, very, very long time. And it applies different dimensions. It applies to different dimensions of life as well.
Yeah.
Because, let's say, if you like someone, and if you want to talk to him or her, okay, the worst they can do is, you, not even in my dreams. Okay, that's of course an embarrassment. But you're not going to die because of that.
Right.
That's not the end of the life. Right. So it's just an embarrassment. It's just a part of your life. It is a very small part of your life, and you're not going to die. Okay. Or let's say if you went up on the stage and you did something very stupid, it is an embarrassment, but you're not going to die after it. It's fine.
And after a few years, that becomes your story. So it's a funny story that you can always narrate in a podcast or anywhere.
Of course.
So now that you spoke about this likable and stuff, how do you think it's important to be likable in a social setting? So that, when you go to a place, you're remembered, you're trusted, you're respected. And also to hold conversations. How do you think that What are the few ways to be likable in a social setting?
Uh, I would say this one thing first, okay? There is an amazing quote for becoming a writer. To become a good writer, you have to be a good reader. So become a good speaker, you first have to become a good listener. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you listen to people, okay, it makes it very easy to become the most likable person in any social events. You just go over there, ask one genuine question, the authentic question, not like, do you heard about the stock market? What do you think about America's replacement of soil or oil or whatever it is? Okay, don't ask tough questions to people. Okay, it's something very simple. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you do? Okay, or I notice your shoes are really nice. Okay, can I know where did you bought it from? Or somewhere about, you know what, I saw you on the stage. Okay, you won an award. Congratulations on that. When did you started your journey? These are some authentic questions that you can ask.
Right.
And then genuinely listen to it. Okay. Most of the people, when they hear someone else's story, they want to somewhere put their own story into the conversation. And I feel that's not the right way, because indirectly you are disrespecting that person by not listening to him or her. So, if you want to become a likable person, the very first thing that you do is you listen to them. And that's really what makes them feel secure, makes them feel heard. And in the world where people constantly wants to talk rather than listen, you become that rare of a person who people likes.
True. I resonate with this.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And thank you for being on your podcast today and answering to all my questions. And I definitely got to learn a lot from you. And a lot to take in, a lot to absorb. These quotes, the anecdotes that you shared, they were so amazing, inspiring, and I'm very sure even you people got to learn so many things from this podcast to be a better communicator, a public speaker into the social realm of your life. With that being said, thank you, audience, for being such great listeners throughout this podcast. And I hope you all have a lot of nuggets of wisdom and insights to take with you all as learnings from this podcast. See you all in the next episode. And just like the way Aditya says, peace out.